The disdain in the customer's expression was almost as thick in the air as the warm scent of freshly brewed espresso at the upscale Café Montrose. At a small table tucked into the far corner, a girl, no older than 10, sat upright, her neatly pressed dress showing not a wrinkle, her tiny fingers moving over the table in search of something that wasn't there. The Braille menu, which should have been placed before her like always, was missing. Her eyes, shielded by rounded dark glasses, didn't move. But her lips did, whispering something over and over. "Mommy, come back soon. Mommy, come back soon." Across the counter, a young waitress named Harper Lindley paused mid-wipe, her cloth stilled against the wood as she watched. She was 26, just clocking into her 6th straight day at the cafe. Harper had seen privilege up close many times, seen how it wore entitlement like a perfume. But there was something unusual about this girl. Her calm, stiff posture contrasted with a tremble in her hands that betrayed silent fear. "Anyone helping table 9? Harper called out, glancing toward the sleek-haired manager, Brett Myers, who was furiously typing on his phone without lifting his eyes. "VIP, Brett replied flatly. "Mrs. Lockhart's kid. Wait till she comes back. You know how she is. Mrs. Lockhart. Alessandra Lockhart, the ruthless mind behind Lockhart Ventures." Her image had graced more magazine covers than Harper could count. Known for her icy perfectionism and formidable presence, Alessandra Lockhart did not tolerate mistakes. People lost careers for less than forgetting her coffee order, let alone touching her daughter without explicit instruction. "It's been 20 minutes, Harper said, worry creeping into her voice. "The kid looks really scared." Brett finally looked up, irritation twisting his mouth. "You really want to test me while you're still on probation? Back off, Harper." Just then, a slight jolt. The girl's elbow knocked over a vase. Water splashed across her lap. Her lip quivered as she fumbled blindly for napkins, hands trembling, helpless. Harper didn't think. She just moved. Ignoring Brett's warning look and the murmurs from other customers, she crossed the floor in 4 strides, knelt beside the girl, and spoke in the gentlest voice she could muster. "Hi there. I'm Harper. I'm here to help." The girl froze. "Where's my mom?" "She's not back yet. I work here. Would it be okay if I helped clean this up and maybe got you something warm?" A beat passed. Then a timid nod. "I'm Lila," the girl whispered. "I spilled the flowers. Mom's going to be really mad." Harper smiled reassuringly as she dabbed the water. "Accidents happen, Lila. And for the record, your dress still looks great." "You're lying," Lila said, but there was a faint smile on her lips. "Grown-ups lie to make blind kids feel better." Harper chuckled softly. "Smart kid. Okay, there's a little spot, but nothing a napkin and hot chocolate can't fix. Would you like some?" "I'm not supposed to ask for things unless she says it's okay." "And when did she leave?" Harper checked her watch. "Almost 5 o'clock. 2 hours ago? I think we're due for a cocoa emergency." Lila hesitated, then nodded, a grin breaking through. Harper returned with not just hot chocolate, but a small sandwich and some cookies. She explained each item and where it was on the table, gently guiding Lila's fingers. "You describe things like music," Lila said between bites. "People usually talk to me like I'm dumb." "My little brother's blind," Harper said. "I know how different the world sounds when people see you instead of your blindness." They sat together for 15 minutes, talking about Braille books and Lila's dream of learning to play the violin. Neither of them noticed the sleek black SUV that had pulled up in front of the cafe. Inside the vehicle, Alessandra Lockhart was watching. Her gaze followed every motion between the waitress and her daughter. She said nothing as her driver asked if she wanted help. Instead, she simply replied, "Wait here." When Alessandra finally entered the cafe, the air seemed to change. Brett nearly tripped over himself getting to her, sputtering apologies. She didn't even glance at him. Her heels clicked across the floor until she stopped in front of table 9. "Harper Lindley?" Her voice was sharp, measured. Harper stood, nerves buzzing. "Yes, ma'am. I see you decided to serve my daughter." "She was hungry," Harper answered simply. "Mommy," Lila cried. "She was so nice. She told me how the stars have patterns you can feel, not just see." Alessandra looked at the table, the empty mug, the sandwich crusts, the folded napkins. "How much for the meal?" she asked, reaching into her handbag. "Nothing," Harper replied. "It's on the house." A silence stretched between them. "Come, Lila," Alessandra said eventually, taking her hand. As they walked away, Lila turned. "Can we come back tomorrow? Harper's going to teach me how to tell the difference between cappuccino and macchiato by smell." Brett appeared by Harper's side almost instantly. "My office." Now, Harper didn't need to go in to know what that meant. What she didn't see was that outside, Alessandra was texting her assistant. I want everything on Harper Lindley. Full report by morning. In her world, everything meant everything. No secret was safe. Back in Harper's modest apartment, rain pelted the windows. An eviction notice sat on the counter next to her letter of termination. Her phone buzzed. Don't give up, said the voice of her 16-year-old brother, Milo. Blind since meningitis at age 5, he was Harper's world. I got fired for helping a kid, Milo. What kind of world is that? Just then, the intercom buzzed. Miss Lindley? This is Rachel Voss, legal assistant for Lockhart Ventures. Ms. Lockhart requests your presence for a meeting at 9 a.m. 45 minutes later, Harper stood in the marble lobby of Lockhart Towers, the only person in a thrifted dress surrounded by designer suits. On the 48th floor, Alessandra stood facing the window. You served my daughter against instructions, she said, not turning. She was scared and alone. Alessandra turned. Do you know why I left her? No, ma'am. To see who would notice. Harper blinked. You used her to test people? She knew. It's a game we play. Her assistant placed a folder in front of Harper. A check for wrongful termination, more than Harper had ever dreamed of seeing. I'm not for sale, she said. Alessandra's eyebrows lifted. Using your blind daughter to test humanity is disgusting. A long pause. Then, interesting. Alessandra gestured. Clara asked about you. Harper hesitated. Why me? Clara detects insincerity better than most. You're real. Another folder slid across the table. She needs a companion. A good one. And this, she tapped the paper, includes a scholarship for your brother. Wellington Academy of Music. Harper's heart stopped. That's emotional blackmail. No, that's business. That night, Milo got a call. Wellington wanted to schedule an audition. Harper spent all night researching Alessandra Lockhart. Allegations. Lawsuits. A sealed file about a car crash 5 years ago that left Clara blind. The driver? Alessandra. The next morning, Milo's audition left his instructor in tears. Harper made her decision. She'd take the job. But not for the money. For Clara. And for the truth.